Is a designer's goal to have 21 Savage mention their brand in a verse?
Yes.
Or what about is a designer's goal?
There's no or.
Tosh Show. Tosh Show. Tosh Show for show. Hey, it's me, Daniel Tosh, and this is Tosh Show. Eddie?
Yo.
What's up?
What's up?
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Well, I got through it. My first colonoscopy. All right. I'm going to let you know how it went. First of all, Eddie, thank you for all the well wishes.
Oh, you're welcome, buddy.
I mean, it is scary. The whole time you're just like, oh no, am I going to die? No, it was just overall a delightful experience. All right, here's what happened. The day before, everyone prepares you that the prep is the rough part of this, and they are correct. But what you need to know is what time you schedule your colonoscopy really affects the prep. So there's different times when you have to take things leading up to the procedure. I had a 6:15 check-in at the hospital, 6:15 a.m. And no, that was the right move. Because if you're after noon, your night before is disaster. So the day before, this is what I had to do. I got home from filming here, and then at 3 o'clock, I had to take 2 laxatives. And then I had to take the Miralax solution, and you get to put it in a Gatorade, but not red or blue. They said no red or blue. So I chose orange, which toward the end of the the prep, the smell of orange Gatorade was making me gag a little bit. All right, you have to drink 64 ounces, 2 separate times of 32 ounces. The first batch, you mix up half the bottle of Miralax, which I don't know how many servings are in Miralax. You're supposed to take 1 if you're constipated, 1 capful, and we're taking an entire bottle. So it's a lot. And you take it in 8-ounce increments every 30 minutes. So I take my first swig of it, the 8 ounces, goes down. Couldn't taste anything. I was like, oh, this is great. This isn't going to be disgusting. Wasn't hard to choke down at all. Just tasted like orange Gatorade. The first 30 minutes, I'm like, okay, nothing's happened. Take my second dose. And then I say to my son, hey, you want to go for a drive?
Oh, no.
Yeah, I was like, well, here's what my son and I like to take the E30. We like to drive the green E30 around the neighborhood. But then first I said, wait a second, I'm taking all this stuff and I'm supposed to be shitting my brains out, and that hasn't happened, but I felt totally normal. So I asked my wife, I said, when does it say during this that you're going to start pooping? And she said, she looks it up, she goes, oh, it says between 30 and 60 minutes. And I'm like, oh, well, it's been 35 minutes. I probably shouldn't take him for a drive right now. And then at 37 minutes, I was like, oh, is that a fart? Nope, that's not a fart. So I ran to the bathroom. And I had my first one. I was excited about it. It was the first one.
Right.
Oh, just an explosion. I mean, it really comes out fast. And now I have a bidet, and I have my wet wipes, anything that I need. This was my mistake. I probably was wiping too normal at the beginning, even though I was using a bidet and things like that. What I should have been more gentle, just almost patting, because toward the end of this prep, it was sore back there. Okay, so I kept tally of how many times. So you do that for a 2-hour stretch, and then you take like 4 hours off, and then you do another 2-hour stretch that starts, I think, at 10 p.m. That's if your appointment time is before noon the next day, which was important for me. So by the second batch, I'm going to the bathroom 4 times every 30 minutes. And it's real. You have to be close by. It's a lot coming out. and it's coming out hard and fast. And I'm starting to get sad. But I'm watching basketball. I've got an iPad on the floor, constantly going so that I can continue to watch games. I'm not pausing things. I'm just like, all right. I kind of made light of it. I knew what I was getting into. I'm like, how bad can this be? I went 36 times.
Wow.
36 times I emptied my bowels. Now, at 2 a.m., they want you to be, like I said before, just clear water coming out your butt. And if it's not, you need to take another dose. Now, was mine perfectly clear? I don't know, but I wasn't going for another dose. Clear enough, I said. And I probably got to fall asleep at 2:30. Then at 5, I had my brother-in-law drive me to my doctor's office. Now, they're very specific about this. You have to have someone drive you there, even if you have a car service. And by the way, I have a great car service guy that I use. He has a Sprinter van, nice setup, bed in the back. They won't let me use my car service guy. They're like, no, we need a friend or we'll cancel the appointment. First of all, my brother-in-law is way less reliable and trustworthy compared to my driver. But I'm not gonna fight them on this. So he comes. I have to get him up. He drives some piece of shit car. Now he's in my electric truck. Lord knows that's not going to go well on the way home. I said, have you ever driven a car with regenerative braking? And he's like, huh? Yeah, no idea, but whatever. So I get there, 6:15 in the morning, had my paperwork already filled out, just had to sign a few things, went to a room where I put my clothes in a bag, put on a gown. I'm exposed in the back. I'm laying comfortably in a bed for 15, 20 minutes. They put an IV in or whatever where they're going to give me the medicine to knock me out. I say, how long am I going to be out? They're like, I don't know, 30, 45 minutes or something like that. Probably went under 7:30. They brought me into a room. They told me to roll over on my side. And I was like, oh, now I know my butthole's like exposed. And it wasn't like there was no one in this room. There was people milling about.
I'm taking notes.
And I'm rolling on my side, and that's the last thing I remember. Probably fell out asleep a couple seconds later. And then I remember waking up back in the other bed that I was in, and they were like, okay, you can get dressed.
I'm awake. I'm loopy.
I know they put me in a wheelchair. I don't remember this. And they wheeled me out on a Wilshire Boulevard, a busy road at 8:30 in the morning. So there I am, and they put me in my truck.
8:32, driving home. Slightly loopy, a little dizzy, but I felt like I really slept hard. My brother-in-law's driving me home.
My brother-in-law successfully drove me home. Well, actually, we went to breakfast. I was starving. We ate, didn't feel nauseous at all. Butthole didn't feel like it was entered. I don't know what that means, but if you have, this drug on hand and you happen to give it to me, know that you could root around for a little bit and I wouldn't have a clue. They told me they didn't remove any polyps, that there was no polyps in there. I think someone said I'm good for 10 years, but I get the phone call tomorrow to let me know all the actual results, I guess. So hopefully everything went. So completely simple. And the next time I went to the bathroom, it was normal. Didn't hurt. There was no tenderness. I mean, just all in all, a neat experience. I'm glad I did it. Next up, vasectomy. I hear there's tons of jerk in it. Yeah, that'll be fun. All right, let's get back to the unrelatable, elitist glitz and glam that this show has become known for. Enjoy. Tosh Show. It's clear from all the talk about my fits in the comments section that my viewers don't understand fashion, which means today's interview will go way over their drab little heads. Please welcome, fresh from Paris Fashion Week, it's KidSuper himself, Column. Do you believe in ghosts?
The famous question. I do not believe in ghosts.
How are you getting 2 syllables out of calm? Column.
It's an Irish name.
Okay.
It means dove in Gaelic. Which when I was a little kid, I was kind of like, that's soft. But then I saw Mission Impossible, and every time he walks out, there's like doves. And then I was like, ooh, it's pretty badass.
First off, who are you wearing?
That's great.
Here's the thing. I'm not interested in fashion. Hold on. It's not my thing, but I'm smart enough to know that I let other people who are really into it tell me what to do. I'm not like, no, I don't care, so give me a shirt from fucking wherever. How old are you?
I'm 32.
Oh, good for you for almost not knowing your age.
I almost said 31, but now I'm 32.
I have no idea how old I am sometimes.
I don't know.
I'm 48. And then
Are you?
Yeah, I am.
Wow, you look great. Dude, the abs, I was saying it.
Bro, that is disgusting. Have you always been interested in fashion? How did you fall into this?
I was interested in like kind of making things and being a little bit different. And so when you combine that in high school in New York City, where everybody was like, what are you wearing? And then, so that's kind of how I started.
KidSuper. How'd you come up with KidSuper? Why not Super Kid or Sip Cooper?
Sip Cooper would have worked, but Super Kid is taken on all fronts.
Okay.
I came up because I was super young when I started making clothing. I was like 14, 15 in my high school selling t-shirts at the cafeteria. And I was really hit puberty very late.
So did I.
I was later. I mean, you clearly hit puberty. How tall are you?
I was tall, but I didn't have a pubic hair on my...
That doesn't count.
You
don't even know what this is like.
But I had a shower. I did a shower in front of the kids in like high school. Like I was terrified at 16 because I had no hair.
But did you have a tall...
penis?
Yeah.
No. Well, how...
I'm saying.
I had a normal penis with no hair like a child.
I had a baby's penis and baby body.
All right, well.
It's different.
I was trying to say I related, but
No, you don't. That's what I'm saying. You don't relate.
I didn't relate.
How tall were you?
I mean, I was probably 6 feet.
What the fuck? You don't even know what I went through. I was 4'8".
All right. Well, you should have a tiny penis at 4'8".
That's what I'm saying.
I had a tiny penis at 6 foot with no hair, and I would just like, I had a note from my mom.
You said a normal penis. You didn't say tiny.
Oh, I don't know. My penis. God damn it! How many penises have you seen in your lifetime as in fashion?
So many. And the fashion actually didn't help me. I was just a soccer player growing up, and then you see...
Oh, my goodness. You were actually a pro soccer player in Brazil?
So after high school, I went a year to play soccer in Brazil, yeah.
How in the world does Brazil need another short soccer player?
Oh, they didn't, and that's why I immediately... It's actually funny. I got there, and I'm a center mid. I don't know how much you know about. And they were like, you should play right back. And they just moved me to a shittier position.
Center mid, though, you had some endurance, huh?
No, that's why they put me at right back.
Were you scared in Brazil?
No. Brazil is actually my favorite culture, I think.
Good for you.
Great music, great people, great, like, they have a word in Brazil that I put on clothes often that's resenha. That means, like, chit-chat, but they use it as a command, like, come resenha. And it just demands you to come, like, do this.
So I shouldn't be terrified of their culture.
No, they're the best.
Yeah. I don't know.
You never been?
No.
But aren't you a surfer guy?
Yep. And you know what Brazilians love to do when they're surfing? Share with the white guy from California. Now, you were born in New York. New York proper?
Yeah, Manhattan.
Okay. You're not one of those bridge and tunnel degenerates?
No. I appreciate you said that.
When you went to NYU,
yeah,
you studied mathematics. Now that right there throws me for a loop because I thought most people went there, spent $100,000 a year to get a degree in poetry or philosophy or some bullshit.
Yeah, and you're not wrong.
Okay, you vandalized your dorm, and that might not be the right word.
It's what they called it. But yeah, I converted my dorm into a store.
And then you were just kicked out of the dorm or kicked out of NYU?
Dorm.
Oh, okay. Did you finish NYU then?
I did.
Oh, look at you.
Did you go to college?
Yes.
For what?
Oh, that's so embarrassing.
Philosophy?
Marketing.
No.
Yeah.
That is embarrassing. That's worse than I thought you were going to say.
I know.
No disrespect to marketing, but I just assumed because you're good with words. I mean, I guess marketing helps, but like,
No.
how did you get into comedy?
The question is, how did I get into marketing?
No, I understood that.
No. The answer was I was just, it
went down the list.
It was the easiest thing I thought I could get through college with.
Makes sense.
And I graduated in 3.5 years. How's that for impressive?
Were you funny?
I was hysterical.
Okay.
I was doing comedy.
When did you start? Oh,
I was doing comedy in college. I'm doing college to fulfill an obligation to my parents.
I know you're supposed to ask questions, but my one question, how old were you when you first did your first like stand-up thing?
Like proper stand-up, probably 18, 19. Yeah.
And in high school, you were the funny kid.
I was funny.
Because I
didn't get punched ever. And I was.
Well, you were tall. You keep lying about this. Like
I was
small.
tall, but I mean, I was tall, but I was 125.
Still, dude.
Let's get into how you got into designing. You started what, high school?
Yeah, 14.
With the soccer, you obviously were like, no, this is my life. You were
like, if you asked my parents what I was gonna be or try to be, they'd say soccer player. So I moved a ton when I was little. And then when I moved back to New York City at 12, everyone was super into fashion in New York City. And I had lived in like Mexico, Chicago, Wisconsin, and all these places.
Well, wait, what were your parents doing?
My mom's from Spain and my dad's from Ireland, and my dad was just getting jobs.
Are they rich?
Now they're the best they've ever been, but when they first came to America, they were very much not. And they were like street vendors.
But in Manhattan?
In Manhattan, so my mom moved to Manhattan in the 70s and bought an apartment. So she bought her apartment for like $30K and we still have it. So she's always like, I'm the smartest woman, you know. But yeah, so they were like street vendors hustling. My mom's kind of like an artist woman and she was doing like one-woman monologue shows. And then I was born and then they were like, we should probably get jobs. And so then they were like, the first job was like, you want to move to Chicago? And they're like, okay. And then the next job was like, you want to move to Wisconsin.
And they were super supportive?
I mean, again, I was doing good at everything. So everyone is always like, oh, your parents are so supportive. It was like, I was going to NYU that I got in for mathematics. I was like going soccer. I was always good at school. So like they were supportive for sure, but I was trying to think if I wasn't doing all the other things, would they have been supportive?
All right, don't give them any credit.
No, they're amazing. But like they're still like foreign parents that are like, be good.
Are they proud of you?
Oh, I put them in the fashion shows. Like my mom walked my fashion show. My dad's walked too. No, my parents are awesome. Like we'd hang out with them. We, as in me and you being best friends with my parents that we just met.
Is a designer's goal to have 21 Savage mention their brand in a verse?
Yes.
$7,500 for a Saint Laurent jacket, or what about is a designer's goal?
There's no or.
That's the goal.
I thought you were gonna ask how many rappers are saying KidSuper in the song, and
how
that's
many?
all I want.
Have you gotten any?
We've gotten a couple, but I want it more.
Well, sure.
And 21 Savage has not, by the way.
Damn it, 21 Savage, get on it.
But I do think
it's such a good, easy word to rap to.
KidSuper.
Yeah,
it's okay.
It's not orange.
Which was the other option, Dave.
What's the most you ever made selling your t-shirts like in high school?
Oh, like $300. I used to put an ironing board on Canal Street and sell it on the street. And one dude came and was like, had a super young, like hot wife, and he was foreign, and he was like, I'll buy it all. And we were like, amazing.
I love that guy.
He was trying to impress the girl, and I think he did. He impressed me. And now it's like, we were like, buy. He was like, whatever. And so he bought like 10 shirts. So
why is designer clothing so fucking expensive?
I think so that you want it more. I mean, obviously there's the fabric and everything, but it's funny, even now when I'm selling to stores that have like the Gucci's and the high-end brands, they'll call me, the buyers, and be like, can you raise your prices? Because we're putting like the jacket you're wearing.
This jacket right here, when I looked up how much this cost, I was like, oh.
Steal.
I honestly said that. I was like, $850? That seems right.
Is it $850?
Is it?
No, the suit's $850.
The whole thing's $850.
Right.
That's a steal.
That's what I said. I remember when I first moved to Los Angeles, I went into Fred Siegel. And I was like a fucking kid out here. And I saw Billy Corgan, the lead singer of Smashing Pumpkins, and
he was there.
He was there.
Okay.
And I remember him getting a sweater with an elephant on it. And I like looked at the price of it, and it was like $2,900. And I was like, it blew my mind. I was like, this is insane.
Well,
now I'm like, yeah.
Well,
give me that goddamn elephant sweater.
Even me, when I was first like a kid growing up in New York, I'd see fashion shows and be like, this is so stupid. Who would ever do this? Like, the clothes are unwearable. And now I'm on Paris Fashion Week, like trying to make the most unwearable clothing. And I'm like, now I understand it from a different perspective, where fashion shows aren't necessarily for you to buy, but to like showcase your creativity. But even when it comes to pricing, yeah, it's a tough one.
So they tell you sometimes you need to jack these prices up.
You know that jacket's whatever, $400. If it was $5,000, you'd feel a little different about wearing it. So I
might put a shirt on.
Yeah, exactly. Please. Especially when you're going to return this right now.
F, marry, kill.
Okay, love this.
Tom Ford, Paul Smith, Ted Baker.
Ooh, I'm definitely effing Tom Ford.
Okay.
Have you ever seen those videos of him where he takes like a random dude from the street?
No, it makes him sexy?
Oh, it's the greatest videos ever. So he'll pick up like a construction worker, which is also funny because he always picks like a secretly hot construction worker. And then he'll be like, oh, like your lips are chapped. He's like, we need Tom Ford chapstick. And then like someone brings it and he personally like rubs it on their lip. And then he's like a cashmere. And then at the end, the guy's like, beautiful. So yeah, whatever, that is like the hottest dude ever.
Yeah, these are Tom Fords.
Exactly.
Okay.
Who are the rest? I've just completely lost.
Paul Smith and Ted Baker.
The latter two I know less about, so I'm fucking and marrying Tom Ford and killed the other two.
You kill them both. Fair enough. Explain to me the big four: Paris, New York, the Fashion Weeks, Milan, and what am I forgetting?
I mean, you could just have said the big three.
London.
London.
God damn it, London.
I think
there's not four. There's four. They consider London. No.
Well, you can. Yeah, London's good.
Are there other lesser known ones?
I mean, there's like everyone. There's a Tokyo. There's a Shanghai.
What about a Charleston? Is there a Charleston?
It's niche, but it's probably there. To be honest, what determines is what brands also show.
Okay.
So it's like the city matters, obviously, but if, for example, Louis Vuitton and Dior started to do Charleston would probably be big. But since LVMH owns like 15 of the biggest brands and they're a Paris-based company, Paris is like considered the most elite.
And once you commit to one, you're not supposed to play ball at the other places, or is that?
Great question. So when I did Paris my first time, I also assumed I'd do Milan the next and do Singapore and travel the world doing these fashion shows. But the way it's set up is like once you're on one calendar, you should stay there, and that becomes the one that you do.
I find this one fascinating. It was because of COVID.
Yeah.
But the stop motion Barbie, where you actually design clothes for in the scale of a Barbie doll.
This is a good and defining moment. So give a little context. So before COVID, I did 2 fashion shows in Paris. And the cool thing about Paris Fashion Week is to get accepted to it, you basically just do a fashion show at the same time during the same week, and they like will review you. And then if you're good enough, they'll like put you on the calendar. So it's kind of like going to Sundance Film Festival and just like renting a movie theater and playing your movie and being like, come watch it. And so I did that twice and got rejected twice. And every time I got rejected, I printed the rejection letter on the first look, which was actually kind of funny. And then when I finally got accepted, COVID hit. And everyone was freaking out because they're like, what are we going to do for Fashion Week for COVID? You know, the real big question during COVID. Everyone was like, what's going to happen with Fashion Week? Anyways, they decided to do virtual fashion weeks. And I was like, had spent all my money on these 2 fashion shows and was like, damn, I can never do another of these fashion shows. I don't have enough money to do them. Okay, let me try like a stop motion fashion show. And I had done a bunch of stop motion music videos prior to that. And so I decided to take a Barbie doll, rip off the heads, 3D print like J-Lo, Jay-Z, Salvador Dali, Jackie Chan, and I made these miniature clothes, and I did a stop motion fashion show.
Did you worry about the legality, or was that not a problem?
I was like,
Is it?
I think it's
fine.
parody, right?
Yep, sure
it's
it is.
obviously not Jackie Chan.
Okay.
And then I thought I was going to get kicked off of Fashion Week fully because it wasn't real clothes. Like the clothes were this big.
But was it your actual designs?
Yeah. I had
just
like
scaled
stitched
down?
and paid.
Fine.
And so I'm like, okay, I'm getting kicked off. Like, but at least this is the most like column KidSuper thing. And I end up getting like all of these fashion awards and like start winning, and all the fashion world finally like starts finding out about me. And for me, I was like, damn, like the thing that was most column and most outside of the box was the thing that people liked the most. Wow, I'm going to triple down on this.
Oh,
so it was a great, actually.
So
like,
it unleashed the monster.
and like in all honesty, not joking, like I thought I was going to fail, and it ended up being very successful. So
Were those dolls vaccinated?
no, they were big anti-vax.
Oh, interesting. That's interesting. You wouldn't think that at Paris Fashion Week. Oh, good. I mean, fashion world is intense partying.
Yeah, but
Where are you at on that spectrum?
I throw big parties for KidSuper stuff and my birthdays and stuff, but I don't like. I wouldn't say I party too often.
You're not a druggie?
I'm not a druggie. I actually never done drugs.
Any?
I've never smoked marijuana.
Huh.
I never. Well, the other ones seem harder than that, so I didn't like skip.
Good. So you're gonna clean up for a long time.
Well,
I mean, clean up meaning like you're just gonna be successful as fuck.
Well, no,
Jesus.
I think I'm gonna get. I just haven't hit the success where the cocaine comes in.
No, it's that.
What about
phase
you?
I mean, I used to rave in Jenkos.
Jenko kind of reached out to me about potentially doing a collab. You have to be the model, and we'll do like choker neck and like eye. And
I used to wear a thumb ring.
Yeah, and then you have to be like,
Hold on, I'll give you one more. I even had my tongue pierced for a bit.
no way.
Yep.
There's no way.
I was a little kid that loved the clubs, and I didn't do the
but
drugs.
the tongue ring means other things.
I know. It didn't mean that to me. It was just.
Did it mean it to you?
No.
I don't know how to bounce around this question.
I was just.
What were you using the tongue ring for?
Well, you know, I just was like, I thought it was
How
like cool.
old were you?
Like 18, 17.
This is when you started.
No,
you were
I
doing
started-
tongue ring stand-up comedy.
Here's the thing. I took the tongue ring out because you could hear it hitting my teeth in the microphone.
The fact that you had a tongue ring is insane. I never had a tongue ring, but I did jokingly get a lip ring once.
I mean, my tongue ring was almost a joke.
It sounds like it was just you alone, personal thing.
My
Were your
roommate was
friends-
going to get a tongue ring.
Okay.
And he was being such a baby. This is a true story. He was being such a baby about it. And I'm like, just do it. And then they did it to me, and then my tongue swelled up.
Mine was pretty similar. We were in the dorm room, and I was like, dude, we should do something crazy right now. And they were like, what? I was like, get a fucking lip ring. And then, we went to
Dumbest thing I've
we
ever
went
heard.
to St. Mark's, and I was like, yeah, I'm like thinking about getting a lip ring. And the guy was like, how about this? And just did it. And then I was like, and I had a lip ring for a week. And then my dad saw it and was like, what are you doing? Get it off. And I was like, you're right, Dad.
I might have only had it for 6 months max.
6 months is
Maybe.
so long.
You can't judge me.
And so much. You're just a lip ring kid.
Not
Don't
lip, a
run
tongue
away
ring,
from
tongue
this.
ring, a tongue ring, no.
Tongue ring. True. Lip ring's
Oh.
better.
Is there anything funnier than a supermodel getting the wobbles and going down in heels or no?
I have a good story about this, but
Well, you tried to murder models by having them walk a slicked runway.
so this is what happened, and it's a good story. So my second fashion show, I was already not accepted. My second fashion show, I had spent a ton of money on the first one. So my second fashion show, I was like, should I do it? Should I not do it? I got rejected. It didn't change my life by doing that fashion show. Are these worth it? And so I was like, I didn't do the fashion show to like get accepted into Fashion Week. I did it as more of like a creative challenge. Okay, if I'm going to do the second one, the concept's called like running as fast as you can. And the idea is like, if you're going to try something, like try as hard as you can. There's no reason to like not go for it. And so the fashion show was the models would step on paint. They'd walk around this like video cube, And then the last model was in a white suit, but he was a break dancer. So he'd break dance on the catwalk and it would leave the footprints as a pattern. And so
In theory, did you do a dry run of this?
no run at all. And an hour before I'm in Paris, the French like venues like, you cannot put paint on the floor. This is ridiculous. And I'm like, dude, this is my whole concept. Like without it, there's no. And so we're going back and forth. And I'm like, please, man, like anything. I'll like cover the floor with whatever you want. He was like, fine, if you cover it completely, like you can do it. And so we end up covering the whole floor with this plastic. And obviously we couldn't test. And so model 1 walks, paint on his feet, goes to plastic bags on the floor and is just slip and sliding completely. And then the second model, slip and sliding. And it's 100%. And as you said, like, isn't the funniest thing like a wobble? And so I'm 100% wobble, right? And the models are all French and they're coming in the backstage.
Are they all men?
No, there's some women. There's some women. And they're like, this is fucking stupid. Whose ever idea was this? We are slipping. Like, this is bullshit.
I don't know if you're allowed to do that accent anymore. All right, go on.
What accent? And then I'm like, damn, this is a huge fail. And
wait. By the way, how did the white outfit work? Rolling on it?
It did work. It actually, and the print was
It looked
cool.
like something?
Yeah.
Good.
It was actually better than we thought. And that part actually worked pretty cool. At the end, I decide to come, I run and I slide out. And I have a mic, which no one ever does speeches at the end. And I do like, thank you guys so much for coming. You know, sometimes you slip and fall, but you got to remember to get up and run as fast as you can. Like, this is KidSuper Show, thank you. And I get all these applause. And Vogue comes up to me after and they're like, the visceral idea you decided to create the slipping models had me at the edge of my seat. Like, it furthered the concept so much more. And I look her in the eye and I'm like, I'm so glad you understood everything I was trying to do. And so I got this like amazing review about, and I remember going backstage with my friends. I'm like, dude, nothing matters. Like, we could do anything. So
I mean, but now that's amazing. But like, what about your relationship with them going forward? They're going to like know the truth
now,
right?
Well, luckily you have no people from Vogue watch your show.
Are you serious? They're huge fans. They subscribe all the time.
But this is actually funny. So this is the picture of the guy slipping from that show.
Oh, that's great.
And I made it my Jordan logo, which is kind of funny.
What do you think about the world where like models now have, you know, they've opened the doors to
Is this a plus size model question?
any version, various ages, all of it, sizes. You're all for that.
I love using older people because, well, the brand's called KidSuper, and I think it's cool because everyone kind of has a little KidSuper in them. But also, old people have a great face and like just cool energy and vibe. Like,
see, I'm against it.
No, you're against the plus. You like the old.
I don't like old. I don't like any. I always liked
super hot, skinny 15-year-olds.
I wanted to know that it was unobtainable. That like, oh yeah, you to be that there's like no chance that any of us can be like that because it's so ridiculous. So I liked that.
Yeah, I don't mind that. For me, I like people modeling for me that I want to talk to or hang out with.
Okay.
So I just like. I had Ronaldinho walk, which is my like god. Yeah, my last show I had Jim Jones, incredible. I had a ballet dancer, you know, so.
By the way, you've used, speaking of models, you've used like some absurd people. You've used Shea Alexandra.
Yeah.
What else? Bad Bunny, Dion Cole, Tyler Perry. How the fuck did you think of Tyler Perry for a model?
He didn't necessarily model, he just wore KidSuper. No, but for me, it's when any one of those type of, like the more amazing and random, the better. I just think it's like, because now if I run into them, which I don't know how often I'll run into Tyler Perry, but when I do, I can be like,
hey, Pharrell.
Yeah.
Is he straight up like running? What's his title now?
He's the creative director of Louis Vuitton Men's.
Like, what a world trip he's been on. So now, are you partnered with them, or are you doing a line, or no?
So I did the collection before Pharrell came in.
Okay.
So I creative directed the two seasons ago Louis Vuitton Men's collection.
Is that normal for a designer who has their own to go to someone else's and do a line with them?
Well,
I don't know what I'm saying really, but
no, I was the first ever guest designer, so
Okay.
I guess it's not normal, but it's not uncommon for you to have your own brand and creative direct, especially in today's age where it's like, how else are they going to find out about you?
And did you enjoy that?
Yeah, that was super fun.
Did they have like, was it like, oh, the way I've been doing things on my own, now I have like the keys to a Lamborghini type of thing?
Yeah.
Was it noticeable? We're like, oh, shit.
Well, you're like, I'm in a basement in Brooklyn, and now I'm in Paris, and I have 70 designers underneath me.
Do you love Paris?
I think I think Paris has an unbelievable marketing team. Whoever's talking about Paris, because like you walk in there, you're like, I'm supposed to fall in love and like learn everything, and then you walk in, it's like kind of raining. You're like, you're like, what's going on?
That's the funniest thing. Paris is like New York City, but if New York was just 5 stories high, that's how I like
And
it.
raining.
Dude,
It was just, when I was there, it was just so much rain. And I was just like, this is how like London gets such a bad rap. Paris should get a worse rap. But I mean, obviously it's cool. Any country's cool, but they talk about Paris really high up. Been to Paris, right?
Yeah, I conceived my child in Paris.
It was born, or you had sex.
I conceived him. No, yeah, that was.
But not born in Paris.
No, he wasn't born there. I conceived there.
You remember?
I got to explain to you a lot of stuff. Jesus.
Well, I was like, wow, you have a French kid. But you remember the moment.
Yeah.
You remember the time.
We were having a lot of fertility problems.
Okay.
Okay. So there was a lot of like, okay, here we now.
Focus.
Are you rejecting 500 ideas a day that people bring you?
Oh no, at LV it was like that, where you have all these people come and present ideas, but for KidSuper, it's like,
do your brain?
We need more ideas.
Okay. So
because it's such a small. It's just me really designing. Yeah,
You're doing it all.
Yeah.
Huh? What were you gonna say about this?
Like the painting, like we make it. The little doodles I drew, like, yeah.
Sometimes I forget that I don't have a shirt on. Then I look down and I see my stomach folding over my pants, and I get sad. What's your take on drawstring technology? Oh, you're a fan.
I'm a huge fan.
God, I love drawstrings.
But some people have it inside, to hide it. But
then now I've got a knot pressing against my stomach.
Horrible design.
Horrible design.
Couldn't agree more.
What about cargo pants? They're coming back.
Yeah, cargo, but in a different way.
Okay.
You don't fill them up.
All right.
Baggy cargo pants.
I mean, people are going real baggy again, huh?
Yeah, which is hilarious. Like, it is crazy when I remember being like, you'll never wear baggy. And then it's like, you'll never wear skinny. And skinny's going to come back again.
What do you do with the extra buttons that come with your clothes?
Great question. Nothing. You lose them instantly.
Do you cut tags off or no?
Yes. But that's also funny when we're doing KidSuper products, you like want a huge tag because it's cool. And then you're like, I hate tags. Like, that has a good tag right there.
No, this tag's beautiful though.
Yeah.
That's not a tag you would cut off.
Well, that's in a good position. If it was on your neck, you'd cut that off.
Look at my extra buttons. God damn it. How come you don't sew your pockets shut?
That's good.
That's functional.
Yeah.
I'm not used to that. I'm used to going like this, then screaming at Carrie. Fuck Carrie. I can't.
But you're to break them.
Well, yeah, you're supposed to, but you're not supposed to for like television because it looks better if they're never opened.
That's a you problem. No one else. no one else is on television.
Hey, by the way, you collaborated on a $700 beanbag chair. First off, I'd like to buy 2 right now on the spot.
Love sack.
I want 2 of them. Give me 2 love sacks. Order them.
We'll send that to you immediately.
Second of all, you ever thought about getting into the futon business?
Yes. Well, no, not futon. I'm a huge fan of bunk beds.
Oh, I'm all ears. What's the concept? Or you can't talk about it.
No, I'll talk openly about it.
You're gonna make bunk beds?
I just have had a bunk bed for longer than you think I've had.
Well, sure, you didn't have a penis until you were 20.
Exactly. But no, currently I just got this new KidSuper store and building in Brooklyn, and I have a little room upstairs, and I'm bunk bedding it as well. Wait, I got a present for you.
Oh!
Do we do this?
Jiggy, give me a present. I'm gonna give you presents.
Okay. And I didn't know how
Holy
many people came, so I made the whole squad.
No, I just keep them.
Little Tosh.
God damn it, kid.
Pass.
Super. Look at this shit. Oh, this is nice. This is a big. Oh, I'm gonna wear the shit out of this.
Yeah, so we got them in all colors.
Oh man, fine.
I don't know if you put it on with your outfit, but
Hey, can I have that one too?
no, this was mine, dude.
Are you serious?
Well,
All
you
right,
like the
fine.
color?
No, I do love it, but
No, I would trade you one.
no, you got keep it. Here's a gift. This a gift I got for you. It was an artist. He's passed away, but so it should be worth more. But I don't know that it's worth anything yet. But he did a photo of me naked on a unicorn with Barack Obama. It was featured on a Tosh.0 episode many years ago.
Unreal.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
I have one more thing. It's a suit that somebody sent me, and I don't know if I can wear it.
This is what I gave you.
This is humiliating. I actually thank you. I actually like it a lot.
I have more stuff for you, but the gift giving is because you were saying
You got more stuff for me? Oh,
I don't know what size shoe you are.
12.
Nailed it.
Did you really?
Yeah.
God damn it.
I just looked at that body and I was like, that's a size 12, man.
Look at this. Look at you. So now you partnered with Puma?
Yeah.
God, you're going to be rich. God, you're going to be rich and successful. Look at that. Why did you partner with Puma? Like, how is Puma and high fashion in your world? How did they collide?
Well, you get to a certain level where one of the major shoe sneaker companies will reach out to you. So if it's Puma, Adidas, Nike, now New Balance. And I think if you're a young designer or streetwear designer, like getting your own shoe at a company is like one of the goals, especially for me. And I was a big soccer player, as you know, so.
And you know the story between Puma and Adidas.
Yes. They're
the
brothers.
two brothers.
Yeah. But the craziest thing is the headquarters are still in that same town.
And the whole town is divided.
And you go right or left to the day.
You know that Adidas was named after the brother.
Addy. What's his first name?
Adolf.
You said it.
I know. The fuck. Adidas is a shortened word for Adolf.
It actually wasn't even the brother. It was just a guy he liked. No, I'm just kidding. Good one.
I mean, it is. That's a inside baseball for their.
Well, funny is the first Puma's name was Ruda. Because the Puma creator's name is
they named him after each other.
Yeah, but then he went for Puma.
You still kick the ball around?
Often, yeah.
Yeah. I played in a celebrity game in Ireland where it was American comics versus the European comics.
Any American comics play?
Not really. So we lost like 15-1.
One was you?
I scored it.
Let's go.
Yeah, and let me tell you something. As an American, it's all I cared about.
Did
is
you
that I got
celebrate
the goal.
insanely?
Yeah, I did a backflip.
Shirt off?
No.
Oh,
I kept the shirt on. No, there's no reason to show this. Do you sponsor any like little kids soccer teams?
A little team we haven't done, but we have sponsored like a team in Brazil that I sent jerseys to. And now we're designing I'm designing Man City's jersey, which is crazy.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Are you doing anything like out of the box with that, or does it have to be by the book?
There are by the book stuff like restrictions, but this one's it's a water painted thing, so it's kind of out of the box.
So it has your touch.
It has my touch.
Man City, you designed their uniforms.
Pretty crazy.
That's
There's been a lot of like, whoa,
right.
Who let me do this?
You ever go up to people that are wearing your stuff?
Oh, all the time, and just hug them.
Do you?
Yeah.
That's great.
Or I'll be like, you look so hot. And then they sometimes know who I am and sometimes think I'm just a weird guy.
One time I was walking on the beach and I saw somebody watching my show on a house in like Manhattan Beach. So I just walked up to the door and just banged on the door. And then they like were reluctant. I'm like, yeah, it's me. And they're like, oh yeah.
They weren't impressed? They weren't mind blown?
Not as much as I wanted.
Yeah. They were just like, yeah, this fucking shit's always on.
Colin, goddamn, I have no more questions. You're great. I wish you all the success in the world.
I appreciate
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you so much.
Tosh Show. Hey, Carl, did you like Colin? He's pretty neat, isn't he? You know, whenever someone like that is successful, I'm like, good. Like that person deserves to be successful. I mean, just straight hustler his whole life. knows what he wants to do and is doing it. It's incredible. By the way, this hat, how nice was that? The guy made us hat. KidSuper, Tosh show hats. And they say it's better to give than to receive, which is why I've always given stuff away on this show. But then he gives me things, and guess what? Way better. I liked it way more. You know what's funny about this hat? Colin leaves here after the interview, and he's at a function, a comedy function for Netflix, and he's wearing his hat that says Tosh Show. And my manager happens to be at this function, and she sees it, and she goes up to him and goes, "Hey, I'm sorry." She's like angry. She's like, "Who's this person making knockoff Tosh Show merch?" And she literally walks up to this guy. She doesn't know who he is because, no disrespect to my manager, but she's not, big in the fashion game. So anyway, she walks up to him and she goes, "Excuse me, I just need to know, why the fuck are you wearing a Tosh Show hat?" And he's like, "Oh, hi, I was just interviewed by him." And she's like, "Oh, really? You were?" And he's like, "Oh, we just recorded it just now. It'll be on soon. I don't know their schedule." And she's like, it better be on, or I'm taking that hat. I don't know. She made a fool out of herself, is all I know, by implying that this guy was making illegal Tosh Show merch. You don't have to yell at anybody that's wearing something with Tosh on it. "Who are you? That's my client." You know the only thing she'll be mad about when she hears this is that she'll call me and she'll go, "Why do you always have to do an impression of me with a low voice?" That's the only thing she'll care about. She won't get, I can say anything else. I can say that she lives in a trailer park. It's a Malibu trailer park, but you get it. "Just don't always make my voice sound low." All right. Hey, any other updates from past guests? You betcha. You ready for this, Carl? George Foreman, the 15th. Guess what? Out of retirement, won his first fight back in Mexico. He's now 17-0. Scott, the guy that worked on my Airstream, finally got back, fixed a leak. And guess who he brought with him? His long-lost brother. They both worked on the Airstream. Wasn't that nice? It's good meeting his brother, too. Oh, I got an update for Pierre. He sent me his breakfast photo yesterday, which made me want to vomit. All right, what's going on? The GOAT. New episodes are dropping every Thursday, and I'm told it is the #1 reality competition show hosted by me in the world. Boyswearpink.com. Go there. Check out our charitable clothing line for toddlers. I can't wait till somebody offers me money to buy that whole company. I'm going to say yes. And my tour. I need people to come to Louisville, second show in Indianapolis and Columbus. Some new Vegas shows coming out. I also am going to announce some more dates in the fall. Oh, man. All right. My son has a new bedtime story. Won't you please subscribe and like? See you next week. All right. Give me a good night story. Go ahead.
Okay. Once upon a time in a hot dog show, Eddie Sindel died. And when we did table, the pizza guy would eat their pizza. And when they walked back to their table, and they, on Daddy's plate, they didn't see a pizza. So they went to the pizza guy, and say, when I came back to my table, there wasn't a pizza. We have to find out what happened. And then that was the boy and the daddy saw. Whoa. The pizza man. And the pizza man turned around and said, "I ate that pizza because I was hungry." Then they put in a big roll of pizza and a big net. So when he walked away, he said, "Oh, I'm eating all of the pizza." So he trashed into the kicked the motor and began to walk away. The end.
Good story, buddy.
Tosh Show. Tosh Show. Tosh Show for show.